Okay, so hey there guys. So today's video is going to be my November favorites, and that means this is my last video for my favorites of the year. I cannot believe this year's over. Like, what the fuck? I cannot believe how fast this year went. So we're not going to waste any time and jump into all of my favorites because I've been using a lot of stuff that I have discovered because of Chip, that she sent me all of these amazing products for our makeup swap. So I really wanted to talk about some of the products that I've been loving from her. So I wanted to start out with eyeshadow palettes. I only have a couple to talk about and then we'll jump into other things. So she did get me 3 eyeshadow palettes for our makeup swap. So I wanted to talk about this one first. So this is the Naked Cherry palette by Urban Decay. I know a lot of people have very mixed reviews about this palette. I'm just looking at my makeup and I'm just like, it actually still looks pretty good. I actually really like how light the blush looks right now. And I actually like the eyeliner. So, I mean, I didn't reline. I just put on a different lippy and started filming because I actually have work in about 40 minutes. So hopefully we'll get through this favorites video. So yeah, this is the packaging. And I've actually had quite a bit of opportunities to try out this whole palette. So I basically wore this palette all weekend, this past weekend, and I also wore it quite a few times last week before that because I had received my package from her around 2 weeks ago. So I've been able to try out every shade in this palette, and I have to say I really do love this palette. I think that the shimmer shades in here are some of the best that I've tried from the Naked palettes. The mattes are good. I think that the mattes in the Naked Heat palette are much better. I think that some of these are a little bit harder to apply, to blend. The matte, I honestly think probably only like these darker mattes are better. The lighter mattes are a little bit harder to blend, like especially Feels and Juicy, but I usually use those as my transition shades. Or I typically use just Feels, and then I will go in with Feels and go over it with Bing, and then put Devilish as my defining shade, and then I'll put Privacy as my outer corner shade, usually all the time. So the lid shades that I've been loving in here is Ambitious, Young Love, and Turn On. I'm pretty sure I liked this shade too, and Drunk Dial, but those are the only two that I haven't really tried more than once on my lid. The rest of them I've worn quite a few times. Turn On I use constantly on the inner corners because I think this is like a gorgeous inner corner highlight. But overall, I think the palette is really nice. I don't think it's Urban Decay's best Naked palette, but I definitely think it's up there for me. I would rank the palettes as Naked Heat, Naked, and this one. I actually think that this is a pretty solid palette. I think you can get a lot of looks out of this palette. I think it's a perfect everyday neutral palette for someone who is a beginner. I think that's why they went this route with these shades. Just the only criticism that people had about this palette is that there was no red shade in here, because why would you make a cherry palette and not put some type of cherry red shade in the palette? People were just like, what's going on? Like, why would you call it the cherry palette if there's no deep red tones in here? And honestly, that would have been really nice for darker skin tones, but I don't know. I don't really know why they would call this a Naked Cherry palette. I think they should have called this the Naked Raspberry palette. Wouldn't that make more sense? Because I feel like these are very berry, raspberry kind of tones. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to swatch like just a couple of these. But this Ambitious shade, look at this. Isn't it so freaking beautiful? It's so pigmented that like it is a bit gritty. So just be careful of that. That can cause a little bit of fallout, but it's stunning on the lid. It's so beautiful. And then this shade Turn On, so pretty. You guys know I'm such a sucker for these kind of shades, but it's like a beautiful like rose gold. Oh, it's so pretty. I love that shade as well. So yeah, I pretty much have tried out the whole palette. I would like to do a full review on it, so I'll probably do a full review on it for you guys really soon. I just really wanted to get my favorites video up before this week is over, because it's pretty much the only time I have to film. I was going to film after work tonight, but I just decided to film it now. So yeah, I've been loving that, and I've used it about 6 times now, and I really have been enjoying it. So I do really like this palette. So if you guys were thinking about picking it up, I would pick it up because I think it's really nice. If you don't own that many Naked palettes, I would say pick it up. If you own all of them, I wouldn't say it's like completely essential, but I do think it's different enough from the other Naked palettes. It's definitely like most similar to Naked 3, but it's not really anything similar to like the past couple of palettes or like the older palettes. So the next palette I wanted to talk about was honestly really impressed me. I am not a fan of this brand whatsoever, but she did send me this palette as well. So this is the Hutta Beauty new nude palette. I did just post a first impressions get ready with me using this palette entirely on my eyes, and I actually am wearing this palette entirely on my eyes today because I haven't used it in a few days. So I pretty much have tried all of the shades out, you guys. I didn't really have any trouble trying out all the shades, honestly. It looks like a bit messy because I actually have been using it quite a bit. So I have tried out every single shade. Pretty much every single shade. I'm pretty sure every shade. Which is crazy to me because I thought it would take me forever to get through this palette. But yeah, I think that honestly, these shimmer shades are beautiful. And the mattes are actually really creamy and blendable. I actually think that these mattes are more blendable than the ones in the Naked Cherry palette, which I don't want to say because I would never spend my own money on this palette, but since she got it for me, I really wanted to try it out, and I really did end up liking it. Surprisingly, I'm wearing this shade Crave all over my lid today, and then I'm wearing a few of these mattes on the bottom in my crease. And this Crave shade, look how pretty this is. Isn't it just beautiful? I usually wear that as my inner corner shade because there's not really an inner corner highlight in this palette, but you pretty much get all the essentials that you would need for like a everyday look, or you can kick it up. I wouldn't say it would be an everyday palette for me though. I know they're calling it a new nude palette because it's a new spin on a nude palette, you know, like kind of like Naked by Urban Decay. It's basically like competing with that is what I think of. But, you know, everything's about nudity, like, because, you know, people like to use neutral tones on their eyes, and for some reason, for every day, and for some reason, companies relate that with nudity, which I don't really understand. Like, it doesn't really bother me, but it's like, some of these shades in here, like, they're so sexual, like, Spanked and, Raw, like, those are incredibly sexual names, so just keep that in mind if you're thinking about purchasing the palette. So we have these gorgeous, like, dual chrome kind of pressed, what are they called? 4 multi-reflective shadows, 2 pressed glitters, 1 pressed pearl, and 10 buttery mattes, and 1 concealer base. So these are the 2 pressed glitters, and these are the 4 multi-reflective. Honestly, I wouldn't really call this gold one too reflective. I feel like when I swatched it more, it was more of a multi-reflective kind of shade. I feel like on my eyes, it didn't really translate as that. Like, I feel like as soon as you finger swatch it, it's gold, and you can see like a little bit of rose gold, but on the eyes I wouldn't say it transfers as well, but I do think it's still a stunning shade. I also love this shade Daydream, which is a gorgeous duochrome purpley kind of shade. So that one is Daydream, which is also stunning. And then I also love Charmed. So there's a lot of really gorgeous, sparkly, duochrome kind of shades in here. So if you're looking for something that is gorgeous for like New Year's or a night out, this palette is really beautiful. So honestly, even though like I'm very torn as to whether or not I should recommend this palette or not, but it is a very nice palette. I would say it did impress me a lot more. I thought I was not going to like it, but it's actually really nice. And then these are some of the mattes. They are a little bit rougher to the touch, but they apply really, really nicely, and they swatch really, really creamily. So this one is Secret and this one is Raw. So just to give you guys some swatches, I'm probably also going to do a full dedicated review on this palette as well. But I'm just saying I think both of the palettes are nice. I'm not going to say, oh my god, I freaking love them, but I'm pretty much saying that they're both pretty good quality palettes. So I'm not trying to spoil a review for you guys, but I just wanted to tell you guys, since this is in a favorites video, that I do like both of the palettes. Okay, then the next palette I wanted to talk about, it's not really like my absolute favorite palette, but I do like it. This is Dee Natasha De Nona Mini Star Palette. If you guys watched my makeup swap video with Chip, this, one of the eyeshadows fell out completely from the pan, and I was so upset. I was like, oh my god, like, I can't believe that it came out, like, right on camera. I was so upset. But I went to Sephora and exchanged it for a new one, no problem. So this one is completely fine. I actually did this in the store to see if it would fall out, and this one is completely intact. Everything is fine. So I do actually really like the color scheme in this palette. I think it is different. But I would rather have one more matte in here rather than like this green shade. I know they put this green shade in here on purpose. I think that the quality of this one is not as good as the Sunset palette. I just find, again, that her mattes are a little bit funky to me. The shimmer shades are really pretty, but again, when I apply her shimmery shades, I feel like they're uneven on the lid, but they last for such a long time and they barely crease, which I really love. But I have like the same problem with these ones as I do with the Sunset palette, the mini Sunset palette that I have, because I only have 2 mini palettes from her. I don't have any of her bigger palettes, but people said that the quality is a lot lower with these smaller palettes as compared to her bigger palettes, which she shouldn't lessen the quality for something to be cheaper. It should just be cheaper and still the same quality, because that's what people are expecting, and I don't think it's the same thing. But I think if I'm going to say that, I probably do really need to try one of her bigger palettes. But so far, I really do enjoy this palette. I think it's really nice. My favorite shade in the palette is the yellow one that fell out in the pan in that video. I was so upset. I believe that one is called Orion or Cosmo. I don't know the order, but it's a really beautiful yellow gold. You guys know I love yellow gold, and of course I love this beautiful shimmery shade in the middle. And this one is called Bellatrix. And this one I've been using on the inner corners, on my lid, and it's really beautiful and reflective. So yeah, I've been enjoying this palette as well. So honestly, I've been enjoying all of the eyeshadow palettes that she got me. This one is probably my least favorite out of the 3, because I actually think the other 2 have better formulas than this one. But I don't know, I feel like I have to try her bigger palettes to really say if I like her formula, because I'm not sure about those palettes, but I like it. It's nice. Like, it's a good 5-pan enjoyable palette. It's not exactly something you can use for like a 1 palette look. Like, you kind of have to pull in like a brow bone highlight, but if you just want to throw these 2 in your crease and put this one on your lid, you could do that, or put this on your inner corners and put one of these 2 shades on the lid and put these 2 on the crease. You could do that too. So, so far I have been enjoying it. I've used it a few times, and I've used all of the shades in all of these palettes. Surprisingly, I pretty much wear makeup every single day now, because I'm always at work, I'm always at school, or I'm always at my boyfriend's house. Usually I take my makeup off after work so I can see him, and there's no need for me to keep my makeup on when I go to his house. So, and then the last palette I wanted to talk about, which is still relatively new to my collection, and I still want to talk about it because I have been using it the majority of this month as well, and this is the Disney Designer Collection. It's a palette. It's a princess thing. It's a palette thing is what I was going to say. I was going to say it's a palette. No, it's a princess thing. So this is the outer packaging, so adorable. You guys know I did a full review on this palette, and these are the shades. Again, these shades are so beautiful. This is becoming one of my go-to everyday palettes. Like, when I want to do an everyday look, I'm like, I'm going to use this. Like, it's always like one of the first palettes I think about reaching for, because these mattes are just so easy to use. They're so pigmented. All of these lid shades are freaking stunning. I absolutely still am obsessed with Prince Charming and Ray in One Kiss. As you can see, there's a lot of shadow debris on the outsides of these pans because I've been using this like crazy again. I love it so much. When I don't use it, I'm like, I can't wait to use it again because it's so freaking beautiful. I love these shades. This shade Ray and Prince Charming are my 2 favorite shades in the palette. And One Kiss, they're just stunning. Look how beautiful those are. Like, I was like, I don't need this palette, and then it literally just shook me to the core when I tried it. I know that's so cheesy, and I know that so many people say that when they um talk about makeup, but honestly, I think that this quality is stunning. I think all the shades are beautiful. I've tried out all of them and I love them. So, and the mattes are just as good. So honestly, if you guys haven't tried ColourPop, what are you waiting for? You should pick out at least one palette and try it out, because I actually think that their pressed eyeshadows are pretty much the best product that they make besides their Super Shock shadows. Their matte and shimmery pressed formula is amazing. One of my top favorite formulas. So this palette is stunning. Okay, now let's move on to highlighters really quick. We're just going to talk about three really quick. So the first one, Chip did get me in our little makeup swap, and this is the Too Faced Peach Tinsel Sparkling Loose Sparkling Party Powder. This smells so good. It smells like peaches, and I really have been enjoying this. I use it usually as a highlighting topper. I think that it doesn't have enough pigment when I use it. I'm not wearing it today. I'm wearing something completely different that I'm going to haul at some point. So I'm not going to be talking about it in my favorites video, but I did pick up a few products this past weekend from Sephora, so I can't wait to share with you guys other stuff that I will pick up within the next couple of weeks. So anyway, I did use this in both of my first impressions videos, and I usually typically use it as a topper. And once you put it on top of a highlight, it's so stunning. It's like so reflective, so glittery, but I love glittery everything. Like, I don't care if it's like a glittery highlight, as long as it has pigment to it. Not if it's just straight up sparkle, but if it has like a little bit of like a reflectiveness to it. Like, basically it looks like this on your cheeks. Like this peach. Like, it's so pretty. I love the smell. I love how it performs. I really have been enjoying this. I think that this is really, really nice. So I usually use it again on top of a highlighter. I don't love it by itself. It's a little bit sparkly for me. It's kind of similar to this one by itself. So this one, speaking of Too Faced, I wanted to bring up the Too Faced Rainbow Strobe Rainbow Effect Highlighter again, because these are pretty much the only three highlighters I'm going to be talking about, because I actually haven't tried any other new highlighters this month besides this one. So I really have been on a no-buy for highlighters and stuff. Besides the one I'm wearing on my face, actually. I'm lying. I did try out a new highlighter today and yesterday. It's a highlighting palette. So anyway, this is the Too Faced highlighter that I picked up from Marshall's a little bit ago. And again, I've been using this quite a bit. I've used all of the shades. Again, this is a little bit glittery, so if you guys aren't into that, this wouldn't be the highlighter for you. But I do really like it. I think it's like a really nice reflective, sparkly sheen on your face. It's not too intense though, so I feel like it needs just a little bit more oomph. But mixing all the shades together, it's really beautiful. So I have been enjoying this as well. So two Too Faced products, but I didn't really pay full price for either of them. One of them I didn't pay for, and the other one I paid like 12 bucks. So then, of course, the last highlighter I need to mention, and I just freaking love and I can't get enough of, is the Dose of Colors Desi and Katie highlighter in the shade Fuego. I just freaking love this highlighter so much, you guys. I use this pretty much 3 times a week. If I'm not using this solely, I'm mixing it with all my other gold highlighters. I just feel like it adds such a gorgeous glow to your cheeks. It's so pigmented and it's just so freaking stunning. Like, I really just, this is one of my all-time favorite gold highlighters now. That's probably a horrible swatch, but look how freaking stunning that is. It's just like a wet, beautiful dream on your cheeks, and I know that's a little bit crazy to say, a little bit sexual, but it is freaking gorgeous. I love it. I can't get enough of this highlighter, so I had to mention it again. I didn't want to mention too many highlighters or too many products in this video because I am going to be doing my best in beauty in January, so I just really wanted to mention the new products that I've been loving that I got from Chip, and also products that I bought before that recently. So that is it for highlighters. Now let's jump into blushes really quick. I only have two blushes to talk about. The first one is the Smashbox LA Lights Blush and Highlight Palette. I don't know if I talked about this last month, but I did use it a couple of times this month as well. And this one is the Pinks palette. So we have Rich Pink, True Pink, and Highlight Pink. So I was able to use these more. I don't really use this shade too often. I really only use these two as blushes. This is more of like a blush topper, which honestly, I don't really use blush toppers that much. Honestly, I might, you know what? I might take a little bit of this and put it on. But I feel like that's very pink. It might be a little bit pink for my look. Actually, that's really pretty. Oh, I actually really like that. I just feel like my blush was kind of fading, so I feel like I needed something else, and that's actually really pretty. Okay, I like that. Okay. So I wanted to just kind of, because I already had a blush in my room, because I'm going to talk about this in a minute. But these two shades, the pink, this hot pink and this middle pink one, are so pretty on the cheeks. They're very pigmented. They last a really long time, so I actually was really impressed with this little palette. I've never really tried that many Smashbox blushes. I had one when I was little, like one pink one. And then I had bought like this highlighting LA Lights shimmering blush, and it didn't really have that much pigment, but I got this from Marshall's and I really do enjoy it. And then the other blushes I wanted to talk about were some of my MAC blushes, because I've been using my MAC blushes a lot this month. I just really love some of these shades. So Melba, of course, is a standard beautiful blush from MAC. It's so gorgeous. Beautiful everyday shade. And Margin, which is also a super popular shade that everybody owns. It's amazing. I love it. I could have just put one of these on top of this, actually. But I wanted to try out the blush topper. And of course, Spring Sheen is another stunning blush. So honestly, again, if you guys need like a standard blush that you know that you're going to use every single day, Margin and Melba. Melba is stunning. Probably my all-time favorite MAC blush. It's just so good, you guys. It's like the perfect like peachy toned blush for every day. It really is stunning. So that is it for blushes. We're going pretty fast because I honestly only have like 15 minutes left before I have to leave. So I just wanted to talk about some brushes really quick. So I wanted to talk about these three brushes. So the first one, I think I forgot to mention in my favorites video last month, so I wanted to mention it this month. This is the Real Techniques blush brush. Now, I actually don't really use this much for blush. I use it more for bronzer. I don't know if I think I did haul this. I think. I have to check my last haul whether or not I actually did haul this in the video. But I did pick this up for bronzer because my Too Faced Bronze Bouquet brush was pretty much like at its end. So I was like, I really need to pick up something else for bronzer. And this is really nice and fluffy that it really does apply your bronzer really beautifully. And I really have been loving it for that. So even though it's a blush brush, Real Techniques actually does not have a bronzer brush in their line, which is so surprising because I'm like, you're a brush company and you don't have a bronzer brush. I just think it's kind of weird. But yeah, I use this pretty much to apply all of my bronzers, and I really have been loving it. So it's just super soft. Their brushes are so soft, so cheap, and they're so good. And then these two brushes from the Too Faced Christmas Dreams palette. Too Faced Christmas Dreams. Oh my god, Too Faced Christmas Dreams brush set. It was a 5-piece brush set that Chip sent me. And I really have been enjoying the eyeshadow brushes. I still have to test out the face brushes more because honestly, I'm like, it's so hard for me to get out of my everyday brushes that I use because I love my Eco Tools and my Real Techniques brushes. But I really have been using these quite a bit because I really needed some new eyeshadow brushes. And these are so extremely soft. So this one I use in my crease just to use for crease shades. And this one I use usually to define right here and also on my outer corners, and they really are beautifully soft brushes. They really are super soft. That's what I've been loving about them, and also they apply the products really pigmented. I wouldn't say they're like my favorites to blend. I mean, they blend it pretty nicely, but I feel like I have to use them more, but so far I really have been enjoying them. So now let's just get into two foundations really quick. I haven't tried any new foundations this month, But I just wanted to mention my Lancome Taint Idol Ultra Wear Oxynox Sunscreen, but broad spectrum SPF 15 in the shade 210 Buff N is just still my all-time favorite foundation, you guys. Like, if you need something that is going to be long-lasting, full coverage, so weightless, so comfortable on the skin, this is your guy. I love it. I've been using it so often. Like, if there's a foundation that I think about, that I know that's going to last all day, that I know that it's going to be super comfortable in my skin, that's not going to bother my skin if I have to keep my foundation on all day, this is it. This is my second one, and honestly, I think I will keep on constantly repurchasing this. I purchased this over the Dior foundation, the Dior Skin Forever foundation, and the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, which I'm about to talk about, Giorgio Armani's other foundation. But honestly, this is amazing. I love it so much. I bought it during when Ulta had their 20% off coupon, so always be on the lookout for that, because Lancome is included if you're platinum. So I always end up picking up Lancome from Ulta now because it's more discounted there. And then the other foundation I wanted to mention, I don't wear this foundation too often, but I've been wearing it a lot this month. This is the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Longwear High Cover Foundation in the shade 2. I'm actually wearing it today, and I think it gives a beautiful fabric-y kind of finish to your face. I do love about Giorgio Armani that if they say something is luminous, something is literally looks like fabric on your skin because it's like a silky matte, that's how it's going to look on your skin. Like, it literally looks like a silky matte foundation, and it's beautiful. Like, I think my skin looks so good today. It looks so natural. It just looks flawless, and it doesn't look too heavy, and I just really, really love this foundation. So, lately, I really have been enjoying it a lot. So, this has been one of my favorites lately. Okay, now let's jump into lip products. So, the first two I have to mention first because I've been absolutely obsessed with this formula. And these are the Too Faced Sweet Peach lipsticks, the Sweet Peach Peachy Matte lipsticks. So the first one I found at Marshall's, and this one was like $7. And this is Got Peach. I think I talked about this in my last favorites video, but I freaking love it. I've been wearing it a lot this month as well. It's such a gorgeous terracotta shade. And this matte formula is amazing. It's so freaking comfortable on your lips. And I love the scent of these that, like, I can't get enough of them. And then the other one is the lipstick that was included with the sparkling loose powder from Chip. And this one is the shade Sunday Funday. And I have been searching for this in Marshall's, and since she included it in the set, I don't have to be on the hunt to look for it anymore, and it's such a gorgeous everyday nude shade. I freaking love this lipstick. It's just so stunning. So I actually wore this last Sunday. I finally got to wear it on a Sunday. So I was like, oh my god, Sunday fun day. I have to wear it on a Sunday, and it's literally so beautiful on the lips. So I really have been enjoying this formula so much. I have a couple more products. Oh my god, hopefully I can get through this before work. The next lipsticks, of course, are the ColourPop Disney lipsticks, the ColourPop Luxe lipsticks. So the first one is the shade Ariel. Again, this is one of my go-to nudes. I freaking love it. It's a little bit warmer than the Too Faced Sunday Fun Day, but I just wore these both recently on the weekend, and I just remember how much I love these. This one is the shade Belle, which, again, they are both matte, and they are both freaking stunning. It's such a gorgeous, like, rosy mauve shade. I love it. I love these lipsticks so much. I can never ever talk about the ColourPop Luxe lipsticks enough. They are amazing, amazing formula. I just freaking love them. And then my new loves that I have absolutely been obsessed with since I got them. So I've never tried Sephora lipsticks before, which is insane, like Sephora brand. So Chip got me a little set of the Sephora lipsticks. I actually don't have 3 of them. I would have talked about all 6 of them, but I left my Sephora box of, like, the packaging, and I left a couple lipsticks in the packaging, because I like leaving them in my room until I have tried all the lipsticks. I feel like that's a little bit less overwhelming for me than to keep them all in my bathroom. So I kept 3 in the box in my room. And these were the three that I had in my bathroom because I was going to wear, obviously, the two nude shades the most, and I was planning on wearing the red soon. So I saved these three, but the other three ended up in the garbage because my mom threw out the box, and then she decided to take out the lipsticks that were in the packaging still and cut off the tops. So now I don't have those three lipsticks to share with you, but I have these three, so I'm hoping I will be able to repurchase those lipsticks that she got me soon, hopefully next week. But yeah, I was pretty pissed. So anyway, this one is the shade Landing in Shanghai, and this one is a gorgeous creamy matte shade, and I've been obsessed with this. I've worn it quite a few times, and it's such a gorgeous nude shade. The cream formula is just as good as the matte. The next one is the shade Festival Lights, and I believe this one is a metallic finish. And look at this little packaging. Isn't it so freaking pretty? And this one is a metallic shade. And this one, honestly, like, it literally performs like a cream lipstick. You don't feel the glitters on your lips at all. It's just amazing. So that one is Festival Lights. I've been loving that one as well. And then the last one is A Little Magic, and this one is the matte red. And honestly, the matte formula, this has been one of the best matte formulas that I've tried. They're a little bit more of a creamy matte. I wouldn't call them a true matte, but they are so beautiful, so pigmented. They make your lips so juicy, so comfortable. I've been obsessed with these. I tried out the other three in the packaging as well. I mean, in the set, and they were all amazing. So I'm hoping I can repurchase them and share them with you at some point, because I feel really bad that they were destroyed, you know, because she spent some money on me. So I am so sorry, Chip. I didn't think my mom would literally cut off the tops. I thought she was just going to throw them out, and I was just going to clean them off with some alcohol. And I went to go use it the next day because I dug them out of the recycling. So thank God they weren't in the garbage, because it was, you know, not as dirty that way. And when I opened it up to use it the next day, they were cut off. I was so freaking mad. And then the last two lip products I want to talk about is the Fenty Beauty by Rihanna Stunna Lip Paint in the shade Unbuttoned. So I have been using this more. I did post a full liquid lipstick review and check-in on this guy, and I actually really do enjoy it. I think it's a really nice matte lipstick formula. I am wearing a Lime Crime Velveteen today, but this is still my favorite. Honestly, the Lime Crime Velveteen formula is like unbeatable to me. I think that they are the best out there, and they're the first liquid lipstick, and they still did it the best, besides the Makeup Monsters liquid lipsticks, which I freaking love as well. I think that this one is pretty good, though. I love it. I think it's super pigmented. It's stunning on the lips. It's not too drying. I actually really like this. So I've worn it a few times this month. And then one lip gloss is the Disney Designer Collection ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade Bippity. If you guys didn't know, they now released coinciding glosses for each princess. So now they have 6 lip glosses, but you have to purchase like the actual set in order to get the gloss. So I'm not going to purchase just one set for one gloss. I'm hoping they release them separately at some point so I can get a couple more glosses. But this is such a stunning lip gloss. It's just a clear lip gloss, and I've been wearing this pretty much over every single lipstick for most of the month. So I freaking love this guy. And then one setting spray is the Too Faced Hangover RX 3-in-1 Replenishing Primer and Setting Spray. I did get this in the little set that Chip got me as well, and I have really been enjoying it again. I use this to prime my face a lot. I didn't use this to prime my face in the video that I did the first impressions for. I should have, because that would have made sense, right? But I forgot to. I just used this to set my face, but it's super hydrating, and I really have been enjoying it again. And then one more lip product I forgot to mention is the Stila Stay All Day Liquid Lipstick in the shade Note. I've been wearing this quite a bit this month, and I actually still really love the Stila formula. This one is a little bit patchy still. I feel like I have to reapply it a little bit more when I'm done eating, but once I reapply it, it's totally fine, pretty comfortable. I wore this all day on Black Friday because I wore like a red like checkered sweater, and it was pretty comfortable all day. So that one I do enjoy still as well. And then 2 mascaras really quick. I'm still obsessed with the Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara. This one is just an amazing mascara. I've been wearing it pretty much every single day, and I just can never get enough of it. It's such an amazing mascara. I love it. And then the NARS Climax mascara, they're pretty much the same thing. Like I said, I wore both on one eye and one on the other eye. They're pretty much dupes for each other, but they are freaking amazing mascaras. Pick up at least one of them if you can. I think I told you guys that last month. And then the last two things are both skincare. So the first thing I wanted to mention are the Core6, I believe you say the brand, or it's how you pronounce the brand. These are the Acne Pimple Master Patch pimple patches. And basically what you do with these is after you wash your face, you put these on whatever breakouts that you think are hurting or ones that still haven't popped yet, and you leave them on overnight and then you take them off in the morning, and it pretty much makes your breakouts fade. So I really have been transitioning from not using as much Lush products as skincare, but I think I'm going to finish up talking about these two skincare items when I come back from work, because it's like 3:45 right now and I work at 4. So I think I'm going to finish up this video when I get home from work. So I will talk to you guys later. Okay guys, so I am back from work, so I wanted to finish talking about what I was talking about before. I know my lipstick looks a little bit weird, but I'm taking off my makeup right after this, so I really didn't feel like putting on more liquid lipstick just to take it off. I didn't really bother reapplying it at work because like it was only me and my supervisor that was there, so I only reapply it when there's like customers and stuff, so I don't really care. And my blush like pretty much completely faded, but whatever. So anyway, I wanted to talk about these pimple patches from Core6. Did I go to the bathroom when I got home? Did I? I don't think I did. Anyway, so I've been using these every night. Not every night, but like every couple nights when I have like really bad breakouts, and I think that my skin has been clearing up a lot more. I also have been trying to use a lot less Lush skincare because there's a lot of scented products for Lush. So my sister told me that I should stop using their products. So pretty much the only thing I've been using from them is the Grease Lightening. I'm also going to use up the cleanser that I have after I use up the Clinique one. I'm just going to use the cleanser until it's done because I obviously use up skincare as much as I can, because unless I actually could go return it if I wanted to. I'm going to go see if I can return it because I want to go get a cheaper cleanser from CVS. I want to get the cleanser from CeraVe, because I have CeraVe's Day Moisturizer and Night Moisturizer, and I really love both of them, so I figured just to get the cleanser too. But yeah, I got these off of Derm Store, and I also ordered a blush duo off of there as well that I will be sharing with you guys at some point. I'm wearing it today, but you can't really see it. But I ordered these during Black Friday. This is really the only thing I ordered besides the blush duo. And then I just got a exfoliator from The Ordinary, which still hasn't come yet, but you guys know all the controversy with that. But anyway, I find that these really have been working very well. The Derm Store order came in like 3 days, so yeah. Love Derm Store, and I think my sister has told me to get these for a long time, so I finally decided to get them. So yeah, they're really, really good. I really like them. And then the last skincare products I wanted to talk about are these Dr. Jart Plus Mask Heroes the Dr. Jart Mask Heroes Face Savers set. I cannot speak today. So I've used quite a few of the masks that are in here. I haven't used a couple. There's actually only 2 in here that I haven't used yet. But the first one that I tried was the Hydration Lover rubber mask, and I actually really, really love this. This one was more like the jelly type mask. So basically, you leave this one on for about 35 to 40 minutes, and it really helped hydrate my skin. My skin felt great after I used it. I also have tried out the brightening mask, the water replenishment mask, and the pore minimalist mask, and I really have been enjoying all of them. They really do smooth your skin beautifully, hydrate your skin beautifully. So the only 2 I have left in here is the brightening solution I've used the clearing solution, not the brightening, so I'm probably going to use this one next. And then the last one that I have in here is the Firm Lover. I'm pretty much only down to using these once a week because I want to save them. I can't believe I've already used 5 of them. That means I've used 5 over the past 2 weeks, so I feel like that's too many masks. So I've just been trying to cut it down to once a week, and plus I want to save them to use them more. So this one is the Firm Lover mask, so I haven't used this one yet. I've been trying to savor these jelly masks because they're really, really good. So yeah, I really have been enjoying this mask set. I think my favorite one was the Pore Minimalist one, and that was like a black charcoal mask, and it felt really good. It was like a more hydrating one. It was a sheet mask, and they just always feel so good, and it's just like really nice for like a night of pampering. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. I was going to talk about the NARS Creamy Concealer and the Giorgio Armani Powder. Maybe I'll just throw those in really quick. So I have been using this the majority of the month. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Chantecaille, and this is a repurchase from a long time ago. My mom actually got this for me recently. I will haul it when I can, but I just wanted to talk about it because you guys have seen this concealer talked about like a million times, and this is like the newest concealer that I have to my collection again. And I've been using it quite often this month. I used it today. And honestly, like, it's not like the best concealer to me anymore. It's a little bit drying. It is full coverage, which is nice, but I don't think it's like the best concealer. It does look nice underneath my eyes, but I feel like it creases a lot. So, but I've been using this again quite a bit. And then, of course, my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Powder in the shade 2. I've been using this like crazy this month. I just love it, and I really don't want to run out of it. That was a really good save. But I actually think I got a face powder that I got like 2 days ago. I really think I love it. And it's very similar to this one, and it's about like $20 less than this one because this one's like 65 bucks. And I got this like 2 years ago, so I've been trying to savor it and cherish it until I use it up. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to use this up. Which is absolutely crazy to me. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. So I'm sorry that I'm so tired. I'm like stumbling on my words, but I just want to take my makeup off because I've had it on all day. So I love you guys. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media. Please let me know what your favorites were for the end of the year, and I am really looking forward to taping my Best in Beauty for you guys. I love you guys. Bye.